This episode opens with Makina seated in her classroom. Amidst the lively chatter of her classmates, she sits alone, a stark island of silence. Their whispers, branding her a disappointment, reach her ears. Just then, the chime of the bell announces the teacher's arrival. He hushes the class, explaining that they have a new student joining them. Veltol walks in, introducing himself, and Makina is utterly stunned by his appearance. The scene changes to Veltol engrossed in a video game, live streaming his progress on YouTube. Makina watches, tears of pure elation streaming down her face as he effortlessly triumphs over his adversary. He streams for an incredible 74 hours continuously, remaining glued to his computer late into the night. Makina enters, gently suggesting he take a full day's break, cautioning him about potential overheating and damage to his equipment. Veltol acknowledges her concern and excitedly reveals that his subscriber count has broken the 3 million mark. Reaching this achievement unlocks his second form, a transformation of immense power, but fraught with peril, much like the legendary Blade Graham. However, Veltol's immediate focus lies in finding the 6 remaining immortal peers. This enigmatic group includes Relishin, known as the Blue Tempest, Silwold, the Black Wyrm, and Mai of the Grieving Peaks. Makina discloses that she once possessed knowledge of Mai and Relishin's whereabouts during the immortal hunt, but those details are now lost to her. She recalls speaking with Marcus, who only mentioned Zeno, claiming he perished in the Inferno Forge. From this, Veltol deduces that 3 immortal peers are still out there. He requests Makina's assistance, but to progress, they require access to the Dark Peer Chronicles. Sadly, these records vanished after the Dark Peer's wartime defeat. Suddenly, their phone rings. It's Felt, informing them she's just outside for a brief visit. Makina is overjoyed, expressing her wish that Felt could visit daily. Takahashi enters, offering her greetings. Veltol is surprised to learn Takahashi is still a student, considering her young age and involvement in hazardous activities. She dismisses his concern, stating her primary focus is simply making a living. She congratulates Veltol on his recent achievement, noting that his progress is being closely followed by everyone. Then, Takahashi inquires about Veltol's next gaming venture. Veltol glances at Makina and Takahashi, immediately perceiving a shared secret between them. She presses for an explanation, but Makina insists it's confidential. This irritates Takahashi, who resents being left out of the loop. Veltol steps in, clarifying that they were discussing the search for the Dark Peer Archives, an ancient relic imbued with magic. Upon hearing this, Takahashi suggests they should have enlisted her aid in locating this artifact, as information gathering is her forte. Makina counters that it's virtually impossible to locate it on the network so easily. Takahashi responds with a sarcastic chuckle, believing Makina is speaking foolishly. She clarifies that it's self-evident such information wouldn't be readily accessible. Takahashi then commences her specialized search procedure for the Dark Peer records. She outlines her method. Rather than directly searching for the artifact, she focuses on locations frequented by collectors of pre-Fantasian artifacts, such as museums and research institutions. She calibrates her artificial spirits and dispatches them into the sprawling data streams. After narrowing the parameters for greater precision, she finally hits upon something. Makina is astonished by Takahashi's proficiency. Takahashi reveals that she maintains 3 artificial spirits within her familia, prompting Veltol to promise a reward later. Makina then attempts to steer the conversation towards dinner, asking whether they should cook at home or order sushi. Her query is met with silence. Veltol, engrossed in Takahashi's findings, asks if the location is Akihabara City. Takahashi confirms it's a satellite city of Shinjuku, and more significantly, home to one of the world's most ancient magic academies. Veltol recognizes it as the Lucille Academy, and Takahashi elaborates. The academy was founded after the Immortal War, with legends hinting at a concealed vault beneath it. Scans indicate the vault has remained unopened for roughly 500 years. Veltol observes that this time frame coincides with the disappearance of the Dark Peer archives. Makina wonders how they're supposed to access a location beneath a school. Takahashi confidently declares she can infiltrate the academy's security systems to gain covert access. Makina panics, voicing her disapproval of illegal activities. Veltol reassures them there's no need for unnecessary risks. He proposes they simply enroll as students at the academy. The girls concur, realizing they overlooked such a simple solution. Then, Takahashi decides to submit an application for an official student exchange program through her current school. The group agrees on some minor refinements to ensure the plan's success. Veltol is pleased, proclaiming their next objective is Akihabara City and the retrieval of the Dark Peer records. They embark on their journey, taking a train to Akihabara. Upon arrival, they are greeted by a station attendant who requests Veltol's identification. Veltol, with an air of arrogance, tells her to simply recognize his face, given his 3 million online subscribers. The attendant rejects his reasoning, firmly stating entry requires proper documentation. Veltol's frustration mounts, but Takahashi intervenes, retrieving his ID and presenting it to the attendant, who expresses her gratitude. With that resolved, Veltol and his companions enter the city. They commence their exploration, and Veltol is captivated by Akihabara's magical aura. He marvels at the enduring legacy of uncivilization in this world. The city flourishes through the trade of magical instruments, especially artificial limbs renowned for their superior functionality. Takahashi remarks that the magical limb Veltol, used in his recent intense battle, originated from this city. Veltol replies that such technological marvels didn't exist in his time, nor during the Maginalberg era, although fully integrated cyborgs and similar constructs were commonplace. Maou adds that replacing everything except the brain and spinal cord with machinery was never considered, as it blurs the line between beings like them and Maginoroids, similar to elves. They reach the Lucille School of Magic in Akihabara. The school's imposing structure presents a sharp contrast to the city's nostalgic charm. Takahashi explains that Tredi Godhell, the headmistress of Lucille, is a member of one of the 3 influential families that have governed for almost 5 centuries, since the conclusion of the Immortal War. She commands half the city, known as the City of Magic. Takahashi warns that Tredi is no ordinary individual and might detect her forged credentials. Inside, Tredi scrutinizes their paperwork. After a tense pause, she declares, "These documents seem to be in order. I'll accept them." She then turns to Veltol, inquiring, "Permit me one last inquiry. What brings you here as a transfer student?" Veltol responds confidently, "I aim to open the vault beneath this academy and uncover its secrets. Truth always reveals itself to a keen eye and a sharp intellect. My awareness of this vault is no accident." Tredi raises an eyebrow and replies, "Do you presume truth conforms to subjective perception? Nevertheless, it appears your motives extend beyond mere curiosity. Your zeal is admirable, but unfortunately, I cannot fulfill your request. The vault has remained sealed for over 500 years. Accessing it requires the keys held by the 3 prominent families of this city, the Godhell, Seaborn, and Renard clans. These keys manifest as 3 magical artifacts known as the Regalia." She presents a sword to them, adding, "This is one of the Regalia, the blade of the Godhell clan. The other 2 are the Seaborn crown and the Renard orb." Veltol asks, "And if I were to obtain the remaining 2 Regalia?" Tredi answers, "Then I would be delighted to unseal the vault for you." Acquiring all 3 Regalia has been a long-standing ambition of the Godhell clan. I, too, am curious about its contents. However, there is a considerable obstacle. The Renard orb has been lost. Later, the head of the faculty, a woman named Mag, greets them. "I am the assistant principal. Pleased to make your acquaintance." Veltol, amused by her name, remarks, "That's certainly a unique name. Makes me think of sushi. A pleasure to meet you, however briefly." Mag remains impassive and continues. Meanwhile, Takahashi murmurs, "Without my familiar, everything feels blurred. My visual input isn't providing adequate information." Maou replies, "It really makes you appreciate how much you rely on familiars, doesn't it?" Mag explains, "Lucille is a distinguished academy of magic, steeped in ancient traditions. Consequently, our regulations forbid the use of familiars within the school grounds. This practice enhances students' grasp of fundamental magical principles and fosters deeper comprehension, influencing the development of gifted magic users." Veltol challenges her. Relying solely on wands isn't sufficient to cultivate true magical prowess. Experiencing magic in its entirety allows one to truly understand its nature. Standing before the classroom door, Mag instructs the group, "Enter individually when your name is called." Maou is the first to enter. As they wait outside, Veltol muses, "So, what's the plan?" It's traditional for new students to address the class. I've gleaned some cultural insights from classic Japanese school-themed adventure games. As the Demon Lord, I claim the right to go first. Initial impressions are paramount." Maou teases, "That sounds like something from an anime 80 years ago." When his turn arrives, Veltol confidently strides into the classroom, announcing, "I have journeyed from distant Shinjuku to the esteemed Akihabara School of Magic as part of a brief exchange program. Consider yourselves fortunate to be graced by the presence of someone like myself, destined to leave an enduring legacy upon this city." Next, a visibly anxious Maou enters and introduces herself. "I'm proficient in various domestic skills, and my specialty dish is curry." Finally, Takahashi confidently proclaims, "I am the brilliant and beautiful transfer student from Shinjuku. My areas of expertise are programming and hacking." Mag then directs Veltol to assess his mana level, saying, "Let's observe how Shinjuku students measure up." She guides him to a magical stone used for mana evaluation. When Veltol places his hands upon the stone, it unexpectedly fractures into fragments, leaving everyone utterly speechless. Machina erupts in laughter as the astonished students and faculty gaze on in disbelief.